When I'm not at school, you can find me at Ewing's Drugs, and so that's where I am that day, in the staff break room surrounded by a shipment of pain relievers. It's not the most pleasant place to be, I admit. There's a permanent burnt smell in there after my manager Maureen once left the Mr. Coffee on all night, and it has twitching fluorescent lights that make you feel like you're in one of those futuristic movies where someone implanted a microchip in your brain. Still, it's what we've got. So I set my water bottle on a box that reads this end up and try for the 100th time to start Tess of the D'Urbervilles for Advanced English 3. I'm so far behind that it's becoming one of those things that grow bigger and bigger the longer you don't do them. I've never been this far behind in any of my schoolwork, and we've got a final coming up soon, but I just can't get through the beginning. You wouldn't believe how many pages there are before that thing actually starts. There's a foreword, and then an explanatory note to the first edition, and then a preface to the 5th and later editions. I'm not even kidding. You practically expect an introduction to the 109th edition. Blah, 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 preface. If you ask me, they ought to be outlawed, the pages before the pages. And if they're in italics, forget it. You have a lot of opinions, Ivy, my mom always says, which is, of course, an opinion. She has a lot of them, too. Opinions about music and men, guitars and rom-coms, and so does Grandma Lottie. About everything from shit cars to fast food. It's a thing in my family, especially among the DeVries women, to see yourself as strong-minded and willful. Fierce. Also, that old-fashioned word, plucky. But I can tell you one thing, right then, I don't feel very fierce. And you'd need way more boxes of pain relief to fix the hurt swirling around in my head. Swirl. My stomach, too. Forget about eating. To get to the actual beginning of the book, I just skip all of it. All those pages that seem so meaningless. Fine, whatever. Get to page 17 where the thing actually starts. You know what's funny? The first line. On an evening in the latter part of May, it reads, and right at that moment, it's actually an evening in the latter part of May. Something about this makes me think of our dog Wilson chasing his tail, going around and around only to end up at the same place. Stop being a preface, Ivy, I tell myself. Get on with it. I sigh long and loud, even if no one hears it, and take off my blue vest with my name tag pinned on. In order to reveal my future, I open the book to a random spot to see what it says. Pages 142 and 143. My life looks as if it had been wasted for want of chances. Wow. Thanks. Come on, book, you can do better. I close my eyes, move my finger down the page, and stop. What's the use of learning that I am one of a long row only? Oh, my God. Or oh, somebody's God. I wish he were mine. But the way people around here talk about God, he too often seems like the worst bad boyfriend. Moody, mean, and impossible to please. Ms. LaCosta did say that Tess of the D'Urbervilles was the most depressing book ever, as she handed out the copies in class, her legs shushing from her nylons. How can it not be? It's about a woman in the 1870s who gets raped and has a baby, and then her whole town basically ostracizes her. When Olivia Neely said, "Why do we have to read it then?" Ms. LaCosta said, "We still have to look." I wrap up the second triangle half of my peanut butter sandwich, tucking it into a plastic wrap swaddle. It's one of those awful times when everything seems to be telling you something, even a peanut butter sandwich. Mini fridge, checkered linoleum, the curve of an orange peel in the trash. Goodbye. I gather my things. Bending down, I tie my shoes even though they're already tied, like you do for a marathon. My opinions. They don't have the power to wreck lives, though. They don't have the ability to make you so scared and so ashamed that you'll do what people want you to do, even if it destroys you.